I suppose just talk about three things. One is what my own rationale for doing the course was. I suppose two is what I've got out of the course to date, and I won't take all evening because I've got a huge amount out of the course, so it's just I'm going to keep it pretty succinct, hopefully. And the last bit then is what are the challenges for doing a course such as this. So I suppose the first thing was I'm a graduate of UCC and UCD, so I decided I better add to the portfolio and go to Trinity. And it is a big attraction to me to actually go to Trinity College, even if it's virtual, except for tonight. The other thing was that I've always been interested in psychology, I suppose. I've never done it. My background, I suppose, up to date has been in law and in business and banking, risk management. So I was attracted to the idea of seeing the world of psychology and learning more about psychology. And I've just mentioned the fact that I'm in banking risk management, and over the last few years, obviously, there have been issues in that industry, and we've had to learn how to do risk management better. What I'm getting out of it, I'll just give you examples in the 3 dossiers that I've done to date. The first dossier was looking at how, because one of the areas I was working on was a product risk management. So we're just looking at how, I suppose, financial institutions manage product risk from my own experience, how product risk is regulated, and then looking at a thing called a socio-technical system, which is really the way that I suppose the core of the course is about in terms of trying to analyse systems in terms of, well, the 4 elements of it is the system itself, the culture, sense making, and let me get the next one. System thinking and action. Thank you. So you're looking at that, it's a cube it's called, and then there's various dimensions to each one of those, and then you're applying that to a subject matter. In this case, what is how product risk is managed and how it's regulated. And then you can get, it's really the first module and the first dossier was a lot about description and applying that kind of tool. Second module, we looked at things like organizational change. How do people affect change? And I then used that and applied it in relation to changes that are being brought about in relation to the regulation of product risk at a European level. Just compare then, see what type of change it is, just to characterise it, and what lessons can you learn from the various models that. So there is a practical impact, and I also included that some sort of very basic research within the institution I work for, in terms of users of people who are involved in the product risk process, and then using some of the tools that are in the course just to put some structure around that analysis, and then use that then to get some learnings for how we could improve that process. Okay, so I'm just bringing it out because that's a practical aspect to the courses, so it's not all like, it's a mixture of academic and practical which you're trying to achieve, and I think you do it very well. And the last dossier that I did was on just looking at what risk culture, what it is, and various frameworks that look at what situations are, whether simple, complicated, complex, or chaotic, and applying that type of framework to a thing like to risk culture, I suppose, in financial institutions as it's being defined. So again, it was kind of an application. It's relevant to my work because that's what I work at. And so again, I found it very useful for me just to be able to conceptualize what's the right type of intervention one should make in relation to risk culture in that instance, based on the characterization of it using that framework. So that was so you can just see there are really, you can really exploit the course to help you do what you need to do at work, and so that's what the main benefit of it is, and that's important as well, obviously, for people, as you go back to the workplace and you say, well, what have you learned, and you could actually demonstrate that by very positive practical things. So the challenges, the main challenge is so much information here. You have to be able to pick and choose. What other challenges are there? I think one thing about the virtual thing is that there's still no substitute for meeting people, though. And I think that maybe one thing that could be considered is creating some sort of mechanism or situation where people can come together as part of the course, because it's great to meet people tonight, for example. And I know that's that's a particular challenge when you've got people from abroad as well. And the other thing that is important for me just to mention is the amount of learning that you get from other industries is very important. And we have a real mix of industries. I don't know how many people are on the course, but there's at least 5, I'd say, sectors, at least on the course. And so that 2-hour tutorial is is a great opportunity to learn what are the issues. And as mentioned earlier, very similar type of issues are occurring, because at the end of the day, you're managing risk and uncertainty, and you're managing systems and how they change. And so we're all kind of faced with very similar issues. So.